So it's your first essay, don't panic. And you're probably scared to even begin because your professor said something about using MLA format. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck is MLA format? They didn't teach us this back in high school. And yes, they didn't teach us this. However, today I'll teach you MLA style format and the do's and don'ts.
Wait, first off, what does MLA mean?
Excellent question. MLA is an acronym for Modern Language Association.
Hold on, so why do I have to learn a different way to write an essay?
The reason being is so that all scholars and professors have a common ground on how essays are supposed to be structured. A similar example would be English being the most common language to learn because most people will understand you if you speak it. Now to begin. First, you would need to open up your browser to Google Doc. You may use another browser, but for today, I'll be specifically using Google Docs. Next, you'll type on the left side of your paper your name, your professor's name. Make sure after each one you press enter so they all start on a different line. Your class, then lastly, the date. After that, you would need to click insert on the top left of your screen, then scroll down to page number. It should have a little pound sign on it. Now click on the image of the page numbers on the top right of the corner. It should take you to the top right of the corner of the page and it should give you a number 1. Now you'll need to type your last name in the front of the 1 and put a space between them. These are called headers. Note that you need to change both headers to Times New Roman font in size 12 and double space them. Now to double space, you don't actually hit your space bar twice. No! Look at your text bar on the right side of your screen, then find the image of 3 lines and the arrow that goes up and down. Click it, then click on the word double, and boom! Your text is now double space. Is so that everybody's able to have the same layout. An example would be some people using too big of a font or too small of a font, as well as using just like weird abstract font like, what is this? Yeah, I don't understand that. Now for a title. Refrain from using boring titles like multi-module assignment, narrative assignment, or even worse, just assignment. Oh my god. Instead of using those titles, use titles that give more emphasis on what you're talking about, or you can use a question as a title. For example, how multi-module helps everyone, and why is multi-module important? Those are just 2 examples. Now that your title and header is done, yay! We'll move on to the essay itself. You may use subheadings, but don't bold them or change them in any way. Just press enter to go on to a different line. If it's easier, you can work on the rest of the essay, then come back to the introduction. For the love of everything that's good, don't you ever use you or second person POV in general. The reason being is because you want it to seem like you're addressing a whole audience, not just a specific person in the crowd, because who wants to single people out, you know?
Okay, so now I know how to start it off. But what about finishing it? I heard my professor say something about a works cited page.
Ah yes, works cited page. It's a whole page dedicated to sources that you are using during the essay. To cite a source that you've got wherever you've gotten it from, you would use parentheses around the last name as the author's last name. Then you would put the page number you found them in. For example, Smith 30. Now, for two people, for example, if there's two authors, you would do Adams and Lincoln, page 58, just the number 58, then close parentheses. Also, don't forget to add the period at the end. Lastly, if it's 3 or more people, you would use the leading author's last name, then you would use etc. For example, Taylor, comma, etc. 21, and parentheses, period. Now back to what you said about the works cited page. To cite your book, you would need the last name of your author, comma, the first name of your author, period, the title of your book, period, the publisher, comma, the publication date, period. That's for one author and for regular books. For more than one author, like about 2 authors, you would need the last name of the first author, comma, the first name of the first author, then you would do another comma, then you would put the first and last name of the second author. Then you would put the period, title of the book, period, publisher, comma, publication date, period. Now, for 3 or more authors, you would need to put the main author. So you would put the main author's last name, then their comma, then the first name, then another comma, and then you would put etc. ETAL, period, title of the book, period, publisher, comma, publication date. Like I said, that was just for regular books. If you're using an ebook or used an ebook, you would need to do the same thing, just add that you used an ebook or Kindle. For example, last name, comma, first name, period, title of the book, period, ebook or Kindle or whatever you're using, comma, publisher, comma, publication date, period. Now, if you're using a cited online journal, it would be similar. You would just do the last name, comma, first name, period, the title in quotation marks, period. Now, the journal title. So, for example, the journal title would be the very front of the page, and the title you would presume as a subheading, but it would be the title. It would be in the specific volume that you're using or page number that you're using. So, like I said, last name, comma, first name, period, title, the subheading as you will, period, journal title, so the front of the page, comma, the volume number, comma, the issue number, comma, year, comma, URL or DOI, and then comma, date access, because if you don't put the date it was accessed, well then we might still think that link is still available, even if it may not be.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's starting to make sense to me now. Thank you for explaining it to me.
Of course, no problem, and I hope you tune in next time on Robbie's Productions. This is Helen Racio signing off.